I was so hyped about Norway versus England.
Hmm.
Man,
Yeah, no, I was thinking no, Norway did well. Like I think Holland kind of under he didn't perform as well as he did in the rest of the World Cup, but they scored an amazing goal. That one goal that young, I forgot number 22, the young player, he just scored like a great goal. But England was just a better team, but that was a good game. Good
dude, I
game.
was shocked, man. I really wanted Norway to win. For me, it was like Vikings versus Anglo-Saxons, and I was rooting for the Vikings.
Yeah, no, it's cool. After every game, I don't know if you noticed it, like they would do the drums and then do like the row, and they do that after
Yeah,
every game.
yeah,
It's cool. Yeah, no, it's cool.
yeah. It's
Even
so cool.
yeah, they even like in one of the games, uh, they were on the ble like all the fans. You can see all of them doing it at the same time, and it's pretty cool. But no, who's your like main team for this World Cup, or even if they're out, like who was the team that you were really
I
rooting
think for
for?
me, man, it was Norway.
It was Norway for from the beginning.
From whenever I started paying attention, I'm
Oh,
I'm
fair
not
enough.
as invested in it, but like my
Yeah.
family's really in it. My sister is like a super fan, but like from what I've been like watching, I really wanted it to be Norway.
Mm.
Yeah, what about you?
Oh, I've always been Spain. Like that's been always I've like I think ever since the first World Cup I watched where I had like the mental ability to understand what's going on was the 2010 World Cup. And that was when Spain won it. That was so they only won one World Cup, Spain, and that was the one they won. So after that it's kind of left a good impression on me. And since then, 2010, 2014, 2018, 2022. I've always been a Spain fan. We had a rough few years. This is the first year we're actually looking good again after a very long time. So, but no, yeah,
How'd
I
you get
think
into soccer? Because I remember when we were kids,
yeah, we used to
you're the
play
one who
outside.
introduced us to the sport, and then the other neighborhood kids. I feel like we would not, none of us would have been playing soccer as much if you didn't introduce it to us with all the hype and interest that you had. So, how did you
Honestly,
get into?
yeah, I think it's you know how everyone just grew up with one sport. That was kind of my like that was kind of my thing. Well, as a kid, I was very active. Like you saw, like whenever we were a kid, I just used to play outside every day, all day, because
You had the
I had
abs.
fun. Yeah. Those are long gone, man. But yeah, back then we used to even before I moved to your neighborhood because I lived in Dallas before, right? Um, all I did out was when I went out is go play soccer, just all day every day. That was just I just like doing stuff like even like playing tag outside when I was little with my friends. Like I just go out running and then I somehow ended up with soccer because it's the same thing. I can just run and kick the ball. It's just and what's one extra step. But yeah, and I think maybe my cousins might have an influence because they all were really big into soccer and they're a lot older than me, so they just destroyed me all the time. So it was my fuel to get better at at it. So yeah, from when I was little, I always played it.
Yeah. I remember it especially had a huge effect on my little brother Hamza. Like
Oh yeah,
he
he
he,
was
he
really
got he
into
got
it.
so
Yeah.
invested in it when he was like just like a little kid, 5, 6.
Hmm.
He'd buy the jerseys and everything, and just like even in the blazing heat on his own, he would just be kicking that ball outside. It's like, damn, he was really into it. Playing the FIFA games, like, damn.
Yeah, no, I feel like he was the into it. Him and what's I Issa, right? Yeah,
Yeah, he's a
him and Issa, they were both like really into when I play. They were both like, yes, no, like they were the most interested. I think you were there for the vibes.
yeah,
And then so was Ryan, right.
yeah. But
Forgot
he
yeah.
ended up getting really invested too.
Oh,
Remember like how
at the
deep he'd get into it.
yeah.
I
Everyone
still
kind of
remember him. That's an out. That's an out.
what was that? I don't remember that.
Remember when like it would pass over like the sidewalk or whatever, and he'd be like, "That's an out. That's an out.
Oh,
Corner kick or whatever."
I'm like, we're playing street soccer, man.
Corner. Like I still remember him like just yelling those things.
Yeah, no, man. Those are fun times. Like we had like that little group in those apartments, just every single day. I think yeah, I always look forward to coming back from school and just going out and seeing who's out there to play.
Yeah, it was
It's
a
fun
good time.
times. Yeah.
It was a good time. Man, do
Yeah.
you still play the FIFA video games?
I I stopped recently. It's been a while. I think about like last year I had because with work and a lot of everything else. I just really don't have much time to. But I play occasionally. Me and my friends, they when they tell me we play like what it's called pro clubs, where you each control one player in the team. It's kind of fun. I play with my friends a few times, but we're all everyone kind of or have their own stuff to do now, so it doesn't happen as often. But it's I still play it like maybe as like a more of like a party game, where like if I've people coming over to my house and they're like, "You play FIFA? All right, we'll play FIFA." That's kind of the extent of it right now.
What about in real life? Do you still play?
Soccer? Yeah, I play every like about every Saturday I try to. There's like in my community there's this like Saturday friendlies that they do, and we play we go to this fields that's really close to our house, and we all it's like about 13, 14 people every week. So we go there and just play for fun, kick the ball, make teams and matches. But yeah, it's kind of like what we did, but yeah, it's I still do it. I'm still into actual playing. It's like a good cardio, at this point, like this doing something, but I also enjoy doing it. I don't enjoy doing just running on a treadmill. So it's the next best
Damn.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no,
I
especially during the World
also,
Cup, it got me into doing it even more because it's like World Cup fever. I'm like, all right, I'm watching the game. I want to go play more. So I've been playing more recently too.
yeah, I've noticed that in myself lately. Like, oh, I'd like to go do it myself now after watching.
Yeah.
But I was gonna ask you, do you think that how big of an effect do you think politics really have in the World Cup and stuff? Because some of these matches I watch and I'm like, damn, really? It seems like
Uh,
that's like
oh yeah.
a
No,
scripted game.
I 100% agree with you. Like the whole you saw the Egypt Argentina controversies and everything. You're all and
I was shocked watching it in real time, yeah.
uh yeah, in my opinion, I do think FIFA favors Argentina. A lot of these ref calls that a lot of these VAR calls, not ref calls. I think VAR, the virtual assistant referee, is being used way too often in places that it shouldn't be used. I think it ruins the game because I think in some decisions should be at the discretion of the ref, and the VAR shouldn't have a role in it. It just like a lot of the disallowed goals, like that Egypt one, for example. 3 years ago, that's a goal. That's 100% a goal. There's no VAR. I feel like VAR kind of ruins the spirit of the game, the way it's being used. It's becoming more unrestricted every year as we go on. Like since last World Cup, it wasn't as it's even more it has more power this World Cup than even last World Cup. It's just slowly and slowly becoming more and more part of it. Even though I get it, it's to be fair and precise, but like some things, it's just like really because I don't know if you watched the Croatia Portugal game. Um, Croatia was doing amazing, and then Croatia, one of their goals got disallowed for offside, and the offside happened just because the ball touched a piece of hair of the player, and it disallowed the goal. A piece of hair because he was in an offside position. If he didn't touch it, if it went through and it didn't touch his hair, it would have been a goal. But because it touched his hair, it was an offside, and they counted off. And the way they caught it is the virtual assistant referee. I don't know if you watch cricket,
No.
but like in cricket, there's like a sensor where if you hit like the one of the wickets in the back, it just like a spike in the sound wave. They use that technology in the ball, and they noticed that there was a spike when it touched the hair, and from based on that, that's what the VAR said, no goal. Which I feel like that is insane. Like that's not like what is this? Like
That
no,
is insane. Oh my
like that
God.
yeah,
And did they
it's
lose in
oh
that
yeah, they
game?
lost. Yeah, they lost. Portugal. It
Yeah.
was against Portugal. So Portugal made it through, and but I feel like they were doing amazing. It was a great game, and then kind of ruined the momentum. But and then uh. We can go back. I can talk to Saul about so many different games. Well, we can go back to the Egypt Argentina game because that's like the hot topic on a
Yeah.
lot of people. Uh, Whatever. So the thing is, VAR, in my opinion, VAR shouldn't be played that long. Like if the decision was made on the spot, okay, that's fine. Because I don't. Did you see the call, like the foul? Do you know what foul I'm
Yeah,
talking about? Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So you know how the Egypt player fouled the Argentinian player. Yes, that was a foul. Like no one's saying that isn't a foul. He stepped on his foot. That's 100 without any ball contact. That's a foul. But the ref saw it and he said he made his decision saying, no, that's not a foul. That's I'm like, okay. And the play continued. And the play continued for like 30, 45 seconds. Egypt had to dribble through the whole entire Argentinian defense to get to the goal and score a goal. Within that whole sequence of events, VAR didn't tell the ref, hey, go back. Like they waited. Like they didn't say anything. They didn't say that, like VAR didn't say anything saying, hey, go back, stop the play. It just continued on. It's after Egypt scored, VAR was like, okay, hey, let's see this. I'm like, that seems very, first of all, the play is way over. Usually the VAR should only be applied in situations like in the penalty box or around there, possible red cards, stuff like that. But the way it's used, I don't agree with it. And even if let's say, okay, fine, VAR disallowed that goal. The controversy is they're not consistent with it because they did it the other way around. The same thing happened. Mo Salah got fouled in the box. Well, okay. Mo Salah's getting tackled wasn't actually a foul, but still they didn't check it. Like because they didn't even bother doing the same check that they did for Argentina. But forget about even if the Mo Salah wasn't a foul, they didn't check it. But inside the box, I don't know. There was another foul where an Argentinian player was pulling on the jersey of a Egyptian player to stop him from making a run, and that was in the box. That was easily a foul, and they didn't stop it. It seems like the VAR is definitely favored to the favorites or the big teams, like in this tournament. It's been ha it's been happening a lot. It's sadly, but and
and
blatantly, it's been happening to Argentina a lot.
yeah. And how long has it been going on like this?
Yeah, people had the same controversies last World Cup when Argentina won. They said there's a lot of questionable decisions that the ref and VR was on Argentina's side, a lot of penalties that were given to Argentina. It wasn't to this extent though. Like this is blatantly that it just looks like they're not. It's not even they're not trying to hide it. It looks like they really are trying to get Argentina to win. Like, and this is all coming from a Messi fan, by the way. Messi's my favorite player of all time, and uh, like I've always since little, I've been always grew up like, oh yeah, Messi's my player. He's the player who I enjoy watching the most. So even that, I'm a Messi fan. I'm not an Argentina fan. That's kind of where I stand in that.
My mom was saying, like, man, it takes the fun out of watching
Yeah, it
if
does.
they cheat like that, so to speak.
Hmm.
Um, Tying it back to politics, would you say it has anything to do with politics? Or no, it's
Um,
just like money
it's
and who
money.
brings in the biggest fans?
Exactly. I don't think it's politics in the sense of like, current world situations, but I think it's money. Because if Argentina is out of this World Cup, lot of FIFA's like a lot of their fans or who spend money is Argentinians, and that's their religion. Like so, like it's their religion, honestly. Like, and they lose of that huge source of income. And it's just like, Messi in a final, that sells. Messi in another final, the world's best player of all time. Uh, him in a final, that sells. Like that will sell money. It won't sell if a team like Switzerland yesterday, for example, or uh, Egypt, Cabo Verde, if they win, they're like, that's not going to bring in the money or the viewership that they want. I
I
do think
wonder
that plays a
until
role.
how long it sells though. Because going back to that thing about the cheating, it's like it takes away the fun from watching. So I wonder
Mhm.
until how much it'll be able to sell.
Oh man, Argentinian fans are crazy. They will watch whatever. If their team is in there, and no, there's a lot of Messi fans. They will just watch it. Like it doesn't matter. They see Messi playing. It's crazy how much a player can influence a team. Like how much viewership they bring. Like you can't ever like. there are people who just come for Ronaldo and Messi. Like there are people that don't care about anything else. There's like Ronaldo's playing, Messi's playing. Yeah, like that's some people that's worth more than the World Cup final. Like I think that there was a possibility in this World Cup where Portugal and Argentina could have met each other in the quarterfinals if but depending on like their group stage rankings. If that happened, I'm confident that match would have brought him more money than that World Cup final because of how many people would be watching Ronaldo play against Messi in a World Cup.
It's interesting. It's
But
all
yeah,
fascinating to me like that.
it's because these are like people don't understand how like these are global like they're superstars. Like how like people like Messi and Ronaldo, how well known they are. It's insane how much pull they have to everyone,
Yeah.
how much viewership and they can bring. They have insane amounts. Like I think Ronaldo's I could be wrong, but I think he's the most like followed influence anything. He's the most followed person on like Instagram. Like I think I don't like I think he has like 500 million followers or
That's
something.
insane. Yeah, I remember
Like
looking at
yeah,
those numbers and I was like,
yeah,
I don't know any musicians, I don't know
no,
any
yeah,
celebrities that have numbers like that. That's insane.
yeah, no. He's the amount of pull these guys have are insane.
What's even
It's
more insane, specifically Ronaldo, it seems like he's a very humble person.
he's very he's competitive. He's humble. I also think I think he's just a very he has that mindset where he can't it makes sense. It's like an athlete. It's a mentality every athlete should have. He has that mentality of I'm the best. I have to be the best. Like I can't consider like he's always asked like hey is Messi did this, Messi did this. How do you feel about it? Or like he's not gonna say oh yeah no Messi's a better player than me. That's not like the mentality of what like a top athlete would have, right? So it's actually like people actually have the opposite. A lot of people have the opposite view of him where he's not humble. He's very prideful and arrogant. But
Hmm.
I don't think that's true. I just think if you're a top level athlete like that, you have to have that mindset of no, you're the best, right? Like that's kind of how you are where you are. And Ronaldo is that mindset. I also think this is very everyone's I hate I think the comparison of Messi and Ronaldo are isn't is dumb. I don't like how people like why like they're both two of the greatest players of we'll ever see, honestly. Just enjoy watching them play. They are amazing players that we probably won't see in our lifetimes play like players at their caliber anytime soon. The stuff that they have won, their accomplishments, the way they play, it's just enjoy them instead of trying to argue against each other, saying, "Oh yeah, no, he's better, he's better." But I'm a Messi fan, but I still respect like what Ronaldo has done to the game. I'm like, yeah, he's an amazing player, like no doubt. Both of them together, no one's better than them in so far in the history of the sport, in my opinion.
Do you think Messi is also of the same mindset? I'm the best, I'm the best.
I think so, but people don't see it because Messi, he's not very in the spotlight. Like he's very introverted, I think. I mean, I don't know him, but like like based on like he doesn't have a social presence like Ronaldo does. Ronaldo would go into camera and just talk, but Messi, he's more reserved. But I feel like both players have the same mentality where they have to, or I'm the best. Even maybe outward Messi is more like, team player. He says I'm a team player but I think they both have that in them where they're like, I'm the best player because you kind of have to be at the top.
It's interesting that you share that because you're more tapped into this than I am. But from what
Hmm.
little I've seen, to me, it's always been like, oh, Ronaldo, he's very humble. And then
Hmm.
Messi, he's a bit more flamboyant and out there. But it's
See?
interesting because you're more tapped into it, and you're telling me it's a little
Yeah,
different.
no. No, see, that's kind of just how the perspective is. Like if you're looking at it's if there's Ronaldo fans, Messi fans, I guess there's always bias to it. But I don't think either players have like I think both players have that mentality. It's just Ronaldo's more outward about it because he's more in the spotlight and talking with the interviews and he's done more interviews. I think he's been on like Piers Morgan, like for like his his podcast like two times, I think. But like Like Messi doesn't do that. He's just kind of just doing his own thing and just. But I think both of them have the same mindset. I don't think either one of them. So it's not even a humble thing. I think it's just you have to have some type of like pridefulness about yourself to actually be at the top.
Explain that a little bit more. You have to have a little bit of pridefulness about yourself
Well,
to be at the
like
top.
okay, maybe pridefulness. Maybe, ego. That's a better word. You have to have the ego of thinking you're the best in if you're at that level. Like you can't be the top player and say someone else is better than you. Like Ronaldo is never gonna say on camera Messi is a better player than me. Messi in the camera is never gonna say that Ronaldo's a better player than me because why? They're both they're both in that they're competing. They always have this rivalry of being in the top spot. So why would anyone do that, right? So that's what I mean. Maybe it's ego, more of like you can't show that I'm better for like, and then you can't show that weakness. It's not even a weakness. I don't know. Am I making sense? I don't know if
You are. I like it. And I think it has something to do with like the word I'm thinking of is dignity.
mm,
I think it has something to do with like your dignity. When you're at that level, it doesn't befit your dignity to acknowledge that someone's better than you.
yeah, I can see that.
And maybe it's not necessarily arrogance, it's just you're at that level of the game where the rules are a little different.
Yeah, like you have to have that mentality. You're the best. You have to
Mm.
have the mentality of a winner, right? You can't be saying, "Hey, no, this guy's better than me." Like that's not a mentality of like what a top player would have. Even if it's not like, for example, any player like rising stars like Mbappe, like yeah, if they say if they go out and say right now that yeah, I'm better than Messi or Ronaldo, yeah, people are going to be like, what is this guy so arrogant and prideful? But sure, then don't for publicity's sake, don't say it in an interview. But they all have to have that thinking if they want to be there, like if they want to take that top podium and being called one of the greatest of all time. You have to have Mbappe would have to have some that mentality or egos to think I'm better than these players. Like you have to. That's kind of I feel like you have to have that drive in you.
And do you think that drive or that, do you think that mentality gives you the proven results?
Yeah, it definitely helps towards it. It's
Hmm.
like wiring your brain to be like a winner, I guess. It's the best
Yeah.
way I can explain. But yeah,
But I guess, as you said earlier, like at that point, you got to be quiet about it, though.
you do because like people you'll get like in the public they'll look at what is this guy so arrogant. But I'm just saying like inside you have to have that mentality.
Inside,
Like
yeah.
you can't you obviously outwardly you probably can't tell, yeah, no, I'm better than Messi and Ronaldo. People are like, what is this guy? Like why is this guy so arrogant? But I feel like inside every player who wants to be at the top has to have that mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like discipline. I guess that's a big thing. What kind of separates Messi and Ronaldo from a lot of other amazing players that existed is their discipline. Um, a lot of these young, if you notice, a lot of the star players, they grew up very, very poor, like, from poor families. Like they were rough. It was a rough child. Like they were getting by. Their parents were struggling. So a lot of these players, like in Brazil, even Argentina, Brazil from Brazil, like Ronaldinho, Ronaldo. I don't know if you're familiar with these names somewhere. They're all Brazilian superstars in the sport as well. Uh, they were amazing players, like amazing, such good players. But whenever I guess you're that young, whenever you get hold of the fame and money at such a young age, you start thinking, okay, well, it's like new to you, right? Because if you come up from a poor upbringing, you have all this money now, you tend to use it and lose the discipline that you need in soccer. So a lot of these players, or Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, what happened in their careers, they started partying every single day, every single night, and they it hurt their career. They had amazing careers still, but it could have went on longer. Like their prime ages, they didn't it didn't last as long as it could have. But what differentiates Messi and Ronaldo from that is they didn't do that. They were disciplined. They maintained their training. They didn't party out every single day. They had that level of discipline to stay to the sport and know like, yeah, I need to continue bettering myself. That's a big part of what kind of separates Messi and Ronaldo from most of the players. Yeah, that happened. And that's like a good advice to any like future players. I think they always been told probably like Mbappe, he's also pretty disciplined. I mean, he's consistently doing everything, but it's a question about I don't know if Lamine Yamal, he plays for Spain. He's like the new Spanish. He's like Spain's superstar. He is in the semifinals and he's one of our star players. He's 18 years old right now. He's and at this age he has this crazy fan base already at 18, and he also grew up from a poor family. So I'm just scared he needs to stay more disciplined and not party and out too much because it's hard not to, right? Whenever you have all this money all of a sudden and you come from a poor upbringing, it just it kind of it's hard not to stay disciplined. But that's something that if you want to be a successful player, I think you need to have that discipline.
What's the most inspirational thing you've learned from Messi or Ronaldo or any of these players?
Mm, it's just like living, honestly, I think I think it's just inspirational. I would say definitely say for inspirational, it's more Ronaldo because, like I said, Messi's not in the spotlight much, right? Like Messi's my favorite player, but he's not in
Yeah.
the spotlight. He's
I
just
see him just, in a Spider-Man commercial or something.
yeah. He's just yeah, I've seen that. But he's just like he's just the way he plays is just fun to watch. That's at the end of the day, you just fall in love with how he plays the game because you see him dribbling the way he dribbles, no other player does it. It's just he's very fun to watch in that aspect. Like you don't see a player like him. Ronaldo, he is more inspirational because the way I compare Messi and Ronaldo is a lot of people do it too. Messi is what talent. He has hard. He works hard, but Messi is talent. Like what he has is just what like he's born with it. Like what he does, like you can't train for that. Ronaldo is a result of training hard and conditioning his body to the best and the max and maximum you can do for the sport. So Ronaldo is they both work hard, but I think Ronaldo's soul, like his whole career, it's all down to how much he trained and disciplined his body to be good at excel in his sport. So it's inspirational there. The level of discipline you need, like eating healthy for your whole life, right? Eating right, training every day, maintaining a strict schedule to and your training schedule. I think that's part's inspirational, like where he has the winner's mentality to do that. Messi is more like it just comes to him. And when he's on the pitch, he's just there. He just does his thing. Like that's kind of how it is. Where because uh if you watch any game with Argentina, Messi's walking 70% of the time of the game. He doesn't run. Like if you watch any game, he's the only player who can walk the whole entire game and no one the coach is not gonna say anything. Because he I think there was a stat last game that they said, yeah, Messi in this so far in this World Cup has walked 63% of all game time, of the whole entire game time. He doesn't run. He just scans the pitch. He's more technical with it. He scans the pitch. He sees where the weaknesses are, and at the right time, he knows when to use his energy and create a goal scoring chance. But um,
Calculated.
yeah, he's very it's their playing style, right? That's his playing style. Ronaldo's is more his physicality, his athleticism, and on the ball, off the ball, his strength. So a lot that kind of explains a lot where in recent years they're a lot older, right? I think Ronaldo's like 40 something. Messi's also he's like 39. Um, you see that Ronaldo he can't be as impactful as Messi can right now because the way Ronaldo plays relies on his explosiveness, his strength on the ball, and that's something like that goes away with age. Like it just naturally it happens. Like no matter how he's probably the healthiest 41-year-old of all time. Like but like he's the most fit 41-year-old of all time. But like there's something with age. With age, it just brings a lot. Like you lose that explosiveness, that strength. with Messi, the way he plays, he doesn't need that physicality. He just technically he knows where to be, when to be. His dribbling is just on point. It just works. Uh, I'm not taking anything away from Ronaldo. It's just how it is. Like the way he plays is more physical, like more based on your actual fitness and physicality.
You mentioned talent earlier. What do you think
Mhm.
is one of your raw natural talents
You talking about in general, or
in general? Yeah. Like, tell me something about your life where you're like, this is my raw natural talent, like Messi. And then another part of your life where like, this is something like Ronaldo that I worked
mm,
really hard to create and train.
mm, I would say my natural talent wise, maybe my ability to adapt. I think I've been in a lot of different scenarios of uh like new job environments, new just ad new situations that hit my come my way. I'm able to adapt to them and try to take the best out of it. Like when I have an optimism, but like pretty much I whatever comes at me, I'm confident that one way or another I'll get through it or get it done. I feel like that's naturally just something that has come to me where I'm just uh very adaptive to situations, and it's definitely made my life a lot easier. Um, what's something I needed to work on, honestly, I would definitely say like from just skills wise, it's gotten a lot better now, but being able to communicate a lot, like like being able to just say what's on my mind, or just in like social atmospheres, putting myself more out there. I was not like that before, but now I think I'm a lot better at it. But I think that's something I really need to push myself and work on getting to do. Uh,
So
I
I
guess that's
got
kind
two
of part of it.
questions from that.
Yeah, yeah.
One, what prevented you from being out there? And two, why do you feel the need to be more out there now?
Um, it's not, I don't feel a need to be more out there. It's just, it naturally just happens because, when I'm working now, I have to collaborate with other people, and it's just life kind of forces me to be more socially and like socially be able to communicate with people I don't talk to normally, and it's expand my circle, I guess. But when the first part when you said what Scott, sorry, what was the first part of your question? You said
The first part was what prevented you from being
what
so out
prevented
there
me?
before?
Oh, I don't think it's specifically like anything. I think it was a psychological thing because I kind of had a I had a group of friends who, yeah, I've always played with, but it's more that I grew up as an only child, right? So I don't have any siblings. I kind of grew up myself, just doing things on my own, kind of my own pace, and whatever I do play games, I'll play by myself. So I never, when I was growing up, I never had that need to, well, that interaction of people around, people my age that I had to talk to on or do anything. So I think just naturally I became a lot very introverted. I didn't really talk to many people. Well, I didn't like, and even in the social, like I didn't want to talk to other people like outside of my social circle. I was like, oh, just let me be. But now I guess now it's that I'm still, I'm not introverted. I'm not extroverted either. I'm in the middle, but like, I'm more open to it now, and I'm confident in myself to be able to go out and talk to people. That's what it is. I think before I'm just like it's like wow, I don't I don't do this. It feels weird, but now I'm more confident in doing that, I think.
No, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd say definitely work has been a big part of it. Like I think it started like when me and you used to work at Banana Republic, you just talking to people there, right? That kind of started like I'm like
it's
okay,
funny you
I'm
mentioned
talking
that
and
because you were
yeah.
really good at that. Now that I think about it, like you moved very smoothly talking to people there.
Yeah, that was like my first. that was like my first job. Like that was my first job. So like
By
before
the way,
that, I
for
was
a
just
second, I completely forgot about that part of our story even that we worked
oh
there
yeah, when
together
we
once.
worked in Banana Republic together. Yeah,
That was a
no,
good time.
that was a good
That's
time.
funny.
But yeah, that's kind of where it started, right? Because I was kind of forced in these social scenarios where I had to talk to people all the time, the coworkers, and, customers, everywhere. I'm in these situations and getting myself more into there. And now, especially with me working like in full time, it became like a necessity. I have to, if I want to get a job, if I want to get the job done, I have to talk to people. And honestly, through it, I made like, I guess it's like a work family. I'm really close with like my team. We like go out, we hang out every like once every other week or try to just go out and do something. So it's like a good dynamic.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Man, what do you when you reflect, what were like your favorite memories of that time at Banana Republic? Because honestly, for a second, I forgot that we actually had that shared experience.
Um, I really enjoyed just like I said, it's like the refreshing part of talking to like the coworkers, right? To be able to talk to people like you were there, you were there. What's his name?
Yeah, you brought me in. You're like, hey,
Yeah,
yeah, man, like just do this and
yeah.
boom.
You what's his name? He was like a guitar. He plays instruments. I forgot what his name was, but Gian. I think that's what his name was. Him. Even like the relationships with the managers, like Rod, and then
Ben
eventually
was cool.
Ashton,
Ben was a cool
Ben, yeah,
manager.
and then Ashton, like just being able to talk with
Yeah.
other people, and it's just like I said, I this was the first. Like you were already really good at like talking and with other people here, but for me that was like my first like me actually interacting with other people, like outside of like a family friend or like when I have to necessity. That was just me going out and talking to people. So it was like a new experience for me. For that was really fun, just talking to everyone and then like making friends, like messing, when we're in the back, just whenever we got placed in the back of like just uh taking online orders and stuff. It was fun,
I
like
never
just
got
messing.
to
Oh, you
that
never got
part.
to do that?
No.
Uh,
No,
but yeah,
not
you
that I
just got to
remember.
like.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just got to like mess around, just talk. Like it's just quiet. You just get to talk and like mess around while you're doing your thing. So, but no,
Yeah, it was a
that
cool
that was
time out
fun.
there. I
Yeah.
like that. That was fun. And that was like still COVID era,
Oh yeah, we had to
technically.
wear masks. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, we had masks. Yeah, you're right.
This whole thing you're telling me about communication is really interesting to me because I don't think you and I have ever touched on that before, like that specific conversation. But you
Hmm.
also just always struck me as someone who was naturally adaptable, as
Oh
you
no.
said. Like you
Yeah.
you would anytime I saw you communicating with people, it's like, oh well, he just does it naturally.
That's definitely something I learned how to do more. That's never been the case. Like for example, if you told my parents that, they would be like, "What? That's not me." Like they're like, "That's not my son." They like because they saw me as being very introverted when I was little. Like they saw like I didn't pull myself out there much. Like they knew that. They're like, I'm just a very introverted kid. I think if you didn't notice it much even when you're younger, is because I kind of got to, when we were living in the same apartments, I got to know you. Because once I know you, then I'm fine. I can talk to you. So like when we were in the apartments, we played every single day. We are kind of bonded there, right? I kind of knew you already. You weren't a stranger. But like in a normal like social environment where I don't know people, I wouldn't go out of my way and talk to people. Like now, for example, I would like I don't know. I went to two of the World Cup games, by the way. So I went to the Morocco-Canada game in Dallas, and then I also went to the Spain-Portugal game in Dallas. I went to both of those games and I watched them live. So uh, in there, this Morocco game, I went with my cousins, and so it was just where us and my cousin were talking about the Spain game. It was very last minute. I got a ticket for a good deal, and I'm like, once in a lifetime opportunity to see Spain, and it's against Portugal too. So I see Ronaldo too, 2 for 1. So. I went in and did like a literally like 10 hours before the game. I bought my ticket. I was like, okay. got a
Wow.
good deal. I was like, and then I drove to Dallas that night. It was a very impulsive decision. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go drive to Dallas and go watch this game. So I went, watched the game, and next to me it was like three, four people, like Portugal fans and like Spain fans, and I just started talking to them, and like, we took a picture together. We're just like, it's just like I would have not seen myself doing that like 7 years back. Like I would be down, like I'm just talking to him, cracking jokes with him. Like I do not see myself doing that before, but now I can go up and do that.
That's cool, man. I like
Yeah.
that. Aware of the ability. Awareness of the
hmm
ability changes a lot of things.
hmm But
Yeah.
no. But yeah, what about I mean, so what were you? What was your favorite part of Banana Republic?
I think just talking to people,
Talking to people? Just
just
being able,
talking to
yeah, because
people.
I remember because when you were the cash register, you tried to strike a conversation with every single like a customer that had
With
happened.
every single one, yeah.
Was that like just to improve? Is that because you just wanted to, or is that to improve your communication skills? Like what was the motive of doing that? Or you just wanted to know
I
about
just
people? Like,
enjoy talking to people,
okay,
the
okay,
podcast, right? Thus the
yeah,
podcast. I just enjoy talking to
yeah,
people. But
yeah,
earlier what I said, awareness of the ability to change things, kind of like what you're asking me right now.
hmm
I don't think it's really ever been something consciously for me. Communication. People have pointed it out to me, like, hey, by the way, do you notice like you talk and the way you talk and communicate with all these different people? Like people have to point that out to me, and then I become like
mm.
aware of it. But
See,
no, it's
that's
just kind of
kind of
like it just comes up.
yeah. See, that's kind of like remember how we were talking about natural born talent and something learned. So that's your natural talent. You just like for me, adaptability, or like I said, right, just being able to adapt to situations. For you, like being able to communicate just comes naturally to you. That's just something that seems like you're just born with that talent to be able to talk to people like that.
Maybe, because I do remember being more shy when I was young and
Mm,
quieter, unless I knew
hmm
you, right? Unless I knew you,
Yeah,
then we
yeah,
talk
yeah.
more. But I remember, like, for example, in middle school and high school, like if I was in a class and I didn't really know somebody, or like maybe a friend of mine was like sitting somewhere far, like I was just
hmm
quiet. And I wouldn't even engage in like many of the conversations around me. It wasn't until like later on where I started doing more of that. But
mm,
I think I don't know what it's been like for you in your communication journey, but something I learned was all of communication has a lot to do with, are you genuinely interested or not? Because if you're genuinely interested in something, it's a lot easier to communicate. And I would imagine that's one of the reasons why you were able to connect with those fans sitting around you. You guys
mm.
have a shared interest and you're genuinely like into it.
So I guess that kind of plays. So I guess going back on that, the reason I wasn't able to uh in the back when I think my communication skills wasn't as good is because like I said I was grew up as an only child, so I didn't really it was me doing my stuff by myself most of the time. I didn't have an interest in other people and talking to other people and getting to know other people. I feel like it's just me. I'm independent, just doing my own thing. So I think growing up, I kind of gained that interest of getting to know new people and about their story. And so I guess that's probably going back what you said. That's probably part of why I got better at communicating.
If someone is interested in getting to know someone else, what is your best advice to them on doing that?
Struck up a converse. Well, struck up a conversation about something that you know, and that's have in common, I guess. Like like or if you're in an environment like, for example. If you meet like if you're at the masjid, right, with and this brother is the masjid with you, then you already how Islam is like a common point where you guys can talk about like, hey, you woke up for Fajr today, but like but like just having some if you're already in a setting that in like a mutual setting, then bring talk about that. But if it's not in a mutual setting, you just kind of talk, meet some start with honestly, I don't have advice for that because most of the people that I talk to are in like a mutual setting where it makes sense to talk about it. Like like Majid or like a game. I start talking through that, or when we get to it, Hajj, I've met so many cool people there and made like honest like lifelong relationships with them where I can like go like I go to these like I've met from New York, London. If I go there, I'll be able to like we're gonna hang out 100%. Like we're
You
going like
know a
it's
guy.
yeah, I know yeah, like I met so many people like that. So that's honestly when we get to that topic,
No,
one of the
I love
beautiful
that you brought
things.
that up
But yeah,
actually.
yeah,
Yeah, and I loved even more how you said like if I ever go to those places, New York, London, like there'll be someone there you'll hang out.
yeah.
I don't know if you ever watched a regular show, but I loved how Muscle Man would say, "I know a guy." Like anytime Mordecai and Rigby would have a problem, he's like, "I know
Yeah.
a guy," and he would literally know somebody to solve the problem. And I've
Yeah.
always found that like amazing. But tell me about your experience with the Hajj.
Alhamdulillah, it's people say it's life changing, and honestly, it lets you really reflect on yourself, and it humbles you. I will tell you that for a fact, it humbles you 100%. You see people from all these different cultures, all these different places around the globe for just one purpose, right? It's I'll say whenever you first get to like Mecca, you're in a nice hotel, right? You're in a pretty nice, depending on your package. Usually packages that leaves from the US are a bit nicer than packages from like, Bangladesh, Pakistan, or anywhere else. Like, because it's just how the quote, like how the packages from Bangladesh, Pakistan, they're usually subsidized. So the government's paying for a lot of it. That's why their packages are not good. But in America, you're kind of paying the full price. You're upfront, the person. Packages are more luxurious, I would say. Um, but you start off in a nice hotel at the beginning. But then whenever Hajj actually starts, the trials of Hajj, where you go to Mina, you go to the Mina camps, which is like 45 minutes away from like actual like Masjid al-Haram or the or Kaaba. And it's like when you go to Mina camps, you're just like if the space you have is a seat. Like this recliner, think about even a smaller area. That's your personal space. And it reclines outwards, but it's like half of this recliner is your seat. That's kind of where you're staying for the next 5, 6 nights. Or so your personal space doesn't exist. You have shared bathrooms. You're kind of always there's people left and right of you. You just learn to talk, and it's just very different. And then it gets worse. Like through the process of Hajj, it gets even more and more humbling, I'd say. After that, you're walking all day in the heat, you're going through this physical hardships. You have to try your best not to lose your temperament. That's a big part of Hajj. It's really hard with all these people. You have to learn how to, you know, you're here for one purpose and that one purpose only. So you need to be able to be focused on that and not lose your temper, not make it into fights or arguments. Um, But once like I said, you're in Mina, you're in these camps, then the day of Arafat happens, the main day of Hajj, where you're just out all day, just making dua in the middle of the heat. Like it's hot, it's hard, but then the only place you get to rest a little bit is these tents where it's not even a recliner anymore. It's just like a flat foam mattress with no like railings or anything, as everyone is there lying down. Like you turn like and there's no space. And then But that day, when the day of Arafat's done, that night, it's even more humbling. You go to Muzdalifa, which is literally carpet, plains. It's just like dirt. Everyone's sleeping on the floor. It doesn't matter if you're a prime minister of a country. Whatever you're doing, everyone is sleeping on the floor on that ground. You'll turn your left, there might be like feet right there. Turn your right, there's not space. Everyone is just curled up, just sleeping there. That just it's very humbling because you're just like you live we live in America. We privileged to have these nice houses or like a nice bed to sleep in. They're like for me it was very humbling because I come from this more privileged lifestyle, right? And I come here and honestly it wasn't at first I guess it wasn't super it got hard. Yes, I'm not gonna say it wasn't hard, but it was hard, but you kind of learn to humble yourself there. Like I'm doing this for the sake of Allah. And so everyone gets this power to be able to finish it. But for other people, like I would say some of the brothers from like the African countries who come here. Uh, for them, it's more, this is more closer to their like daily life, a lot of them, right? Some of them, they also their conditions are probably even worse than their like Mina camps. So because there's also like segregation, not segregation, but like based on the country you're from, the Mina camps are different. I would say the US Mina camps have more amenities, even though I personally think like everyone should have the same Mina camps, and but I guess sadly, even in this situation, the more money you have, it kind of elevates the amount of comfort you get. But uh, the minute camps are different. So their minute camps are not as you, because we walked past them on the day of Arafat. You walk past some of the other camps, and you can see like their conditions are not as nice as like like the ones in Bangladesh, Pakistan. They're not as nice as the ones that US gets. Which honestly, that was one thing that I kind of had criticism of, but that's just like I just had like why is this the case? Like, we should all everyone should have the same experience. Like it just didn't feel it was definitely a criticism I had, but I guess it's just money talks, and that's how it's set up. But yeah, overall, very humbling
Money talks
experience.
even in the Holy Land.
Yeah, it's you see it and it's sad. I'm just like, wow. Uh, like for example, the Jamarat, the days of Jamarat where you throw pebbles at the pillars. There's three pillars you have to throw the pebbles at. You have to every single day you have to walk from the Mina camps to the Jamarat. Uh, the Mina camps we stayed in, and most of the people, it's like an hour walk there and an hour walk back. You have to do it every single day, for 3 days or 2 days at least, and max 3 days. But whenever you're doing it, there's a package which lets you live in these really super luxurious camps that are right next to the pillar. So where your Mina camp will be located right underneath the stone pillars. So for you, the walk is 2 minutes up an escalator and 2 minutes down an escalator instead of an hour there, an hour back in the heat. Like, so that's if you pay, that's a lot more expensive, but people who pay it, they get that. And I just find like so it's just you pay more money. I mean, first of all, I feel like you lose out on the experience of Hajj if you do that because it's Hajj is about hardship. It's about hardship and humbling yourself there. But so the fact that it exists, like that it's like a money thing, I feel like why? And I feel like it's better my if it's more that if you're elderly, you get to get those seats underneath the Jamarat. That makes more sense to me. If you're young, you shouldn't be able to buy if you're young and healthy and able to walk the 1 hour that way and 1 hour back, you shouldn't be able to get one of those luxurious Mina camps that are 1 minute from the Jamarat. I feel like that should be reserved for the elderly. And maybe just to give the benefit of the doubt, the reason it's a money thing, I mean, still think it's a money thing, but maybe a reason is it's a logistics thing. There's probably not a lot of those tents available, right? It's a premium tent. It's not a lot of those real estate for every single person to get those tents. So maybe that's a part of it too, right? Pay more to get a premium spot. But that was just kind of my takes on that
What is
aspect.
your biggest praise of the experience?
Oh, the biggest praise? Well, there's a lot, but just you really understand the size of the ummah when you're there. You see people from every single point of the world. I met people from Africa, people from well, all parts of Africa, like Egypt, Nigeria, Senegal. I met people from Europe. I met people from
Antarctica.
Antarctica. I met people from different parts of Asia, and it's amazing to see all these people from around the world for this one purpose. And this you're part of this big collect. You really understand how big the Ummah is. Like you gain appreciation for it, all for this one purpose of pleasing Allah. So because that's kind of what the significant metaphoric significance of doing tawaf around the Kaaba is. It's you are centering your life, you're walking around the Kaaba because you're centering your life around Allah. That's kind of the metaphorical significance of doing that and actually that's it's representing you having Allah in the center of your life. Whatever you're doing, having him in the center. And that's kind of the purpose of it. And you feel that. You see every single person, you see the massive crowds just everyone in their clothes and their ihram, just walking for the men at least, just walking around this Kaaba. It's and it's insane. And it kind of gives you reflection on the whole Hajj process, right? Muzdalifah from like, sleeping on the ground. Like there's like prime ministers sleeping on the same ground that someone like that I'm sleeping on. Like it could be like the guy next to me could be the president of a nation. I don't know because like, you can't tell the difference. That one night, everyone is the same. But you it's I would say it's like what's the best way to put it? Uh, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Lost my train
You're
of
good,
thought.
man. Take your time.
Trying to
Think
think.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, oh, I was saying, yeah, everyone, it's kind of Hajj is also a reminder of, yes, you can say the Day of Judgment. In the Day of Judgment, every single person, that's kind of why everyone's all the men are in ihram, right? You guys you're wearing the same thing. You're not different from anyone else on the Day of Judgment. Your status, your money, it doesn't matter. You will all be in the same, everyone will be in the same clothes. Well, you'll be stripped of clothes then. But like here, like that's why men wear ihram is because everyone's in the same state. Like you guys are all doing the same thing. And that's kind of it's like a reminder of what the day of Arafat is the reminder of that. You are in day of Arafat, you're just begging to Allah for what you need for forgiveness. Everyone's just out in the sun standing. That's that all from Zohar to Maghrib. That's what you're doing that day. So just standing in the heat, making dua to Allah and asking for his forgiveness. And that's kind of reminiscent. You look left, you look left, you look right, you see people crying. Like they're making sincere dua to Allah. People are crying about to remove all your sins, uh, asking for things they want in life, anything they can think of. Those few hours that you have are people say are well, whenever it's our leader of our group, they says these few hours of your life are gonna be the most important moments of you'll have in your entire life because the day of Arafat is the day you become, at the end of it, you become sinless. It's like as you're a newborn baby. That's kind of the transformation you go through. It's your slate is clean. You can you're when and you feel it. You 100% feel it. On Arafat, after the sun sets, you're sad it's over. You're like, even though you spent hours standing, you're just like, wow, like I'm not gonna get that opportunity again. It's over. But you also definitely feel it at Maghrib, like when we're waiting for get back on the buses to go to Muzdalifah because we're gonna sleep in the night on the ground. You definitely feel the rahmah of Allah. You feel that sh those sins lifted up your shoulder. I'm not even like you definitely feel new. You feel like a new person. You're like it's over. It's like this. It's this high that you can't explain. Like you feel different. You 100% feel different after Arafat.
Why should a person get hyped up about Hajj?
Why should a person get hyped up? Hajj?
Because I feel like I know I've experienced this and I'm sure others have as well, where maybe it's just seen as ritual,
Hmm.
a pilgrimage,
Hmm.
just a part of, your Muslim identity, but maybe you don't get the hype. I don't know if you've ever been in a similar situation like that, but I'm
Mm.
curious, especially now that you've experienced it. Why should a person be hyped about the Hajj? I mean, it's not a vacation. It's
Yeah,
it's quite
yeah.
literally a pilgrimage of
Hmm.
hardship, as you said.
It's the spiritual fulfillment you get from it. Uh you go into it appreciating the religion a lot more. I would say that for 100%, but you're from a high well, first and foremost, right? Hajj was obligated on us. If you're able, you have to go. So you kind of go into it with the mentality of this was a command from Allah, so I have to do it. That's kind of the mentality you go into doing Hajj, because that's kind of mentality of what I went to going Hajj, right? Like I'm just like at the beginning, you have no other motive, right? You're answering the call of Allah because He told it's something that's commanded upon you. If you have the capability, the money to do it, no one wants to. I'll say no one is happily going to spend that much money to go. Like no one will be like, yeah, yes, let's go. I get to spend this much money to be in the heat for 5, 6 hours every day and walk 2 miles, two like probably just more, probably like 5 miles every single day. No one's gonna look forward to it. You go that's kind of the beautiful thing or the main thing about Hajj is this is a self well, this is a task that you do not do it for your own benefit. You are doing it because it's a command from Allah and you are doing it to please Him. That is the mentality that you go. You have to go into doing it. It's not there's no incentive. From a logical perspective, there's no reason why anyone would do it. Spend the money, the time, using all like for this year, all my vacation days are gone because of I can't go anywhere else. It's gone. Like it's from a logical standpoint, it doesn't make any sense for anyone to go to Hajj. It's all in the spiritual. That's why Allah guides Allah. If you go to Hajj, it's in your qadr, right? Allah has allowed you to go. He has allowed you to and have allowed you to go to his house and visit his house. That it's not a privilege that even the richest billionaires who are probably Muslim, if Allah doesn't want you there, you're not going to go there, right? It's just did he guide you to be there on the plains of Arafat that day or not? It's all up to the qadr of Allah. So it's really just there is no logical reason. Like there's no hype. Like it's just you go, but once you're there, you feel something that you don't, it's not describable. You feel the sense of unity of the Ummah. You feel this sense of this peacefulness, this presence, like especially in Medina. Like in Medina, you feel the most peace you ever feel in your life. Honestly, the way I explain it, in regular life, I'm back now, right? You're focused on so many things. You have to worry about your financials, your career, you're making sure, as everyone catching up, talking with family all the time, catching up, making sure, checking up on people, your friends. There, for those 1.5, 2 weeks, you have one purpose, and that one purpose is to worship Allah. Your whole life centers around that for those 2 weeks. All you do all day, all I did, sleep, eat, pray salah, and spend my time at the masjids. That's literally that's your daily life for the next 2 weeks. You don't
What
there's
was
no
your
outside
relationship
noise.
with your phone like during those 2 weeks? Were you doom scrolling at all?
I was never on my phone. No, I think I only part of the phone is like take pictures of like certain like I see something I'm like I'll take pictures. I'll post like maybe because my family wanted like they want to see what I'm doing
Yeah.
so they maybe like
WhatsApp.
yeah like yeah that or like stories maybe I'll post something once or twice but like other than that like I post something and I'm done like I
Post and
don't touch my
ghost.
phone. Yeah, like I'm not looking at anything. I'm not scrolling through my phone. You kind of don't want to. It's every single moment that you're there, you feel it's like you don't it's limited because you want to be in Masjid al-Haram the whole time. And whenever you're in Makkah, you want to be at Masjid al-Haram. Whenever you're in Medina, you want to be at Masjid al-Nabawi, just sitting there making dua. Like and just the environment's it's amazing. Like you're there, you hear there's birds, there's doves inside of the masjid. You could hear them chirping the whole entire time. Like it's such a massive masjid too, and it's just I don't know. I don't it's not describable on how the amount of peace you feel. And it's also like an opportunity because if you every single prayer you do in Masjid al-Haram is like 100,000 more. So like that's how much good deeds is worth. Like one prayer is worth 100,000 more than what a regular prayer. And I think Masjid al-Nabawi, if I'm mistaken, it's like 10,000 or what that 1,000, I forgot. But like you make the best of those situations, and you have to uh really take advantage of the small limited time you have, and you kind of do. And I think it helps because every other person there is doing the same thing. Like it's not you're if you're not doing it, you're it's like FOMO. You're like, okay, wait, they're spending this extra time at the masjid. Why am I what am I doing just in my hotel room? Like I barely was in my ho like I had a really nice hotel, but I didn't really stay in it long. I'm like, why would I do here when I could just go to the masjid under? So
Yeah. It's kind of like
like
Ramadan nights when if you stay after Isha at the masjid and you see
mhm,
like that giant crowd still sitting there waiting for Tarawih, you feel
mhm,
like more incentivized to
inclined.
stay with them. It's like, oh
Hmm.
yeah, like what am I doing disappearing?
Exactly.
They're all
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. So like you want everyone, like I said, you 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 detach yourself from the dunya for those 2 weeks. Your whole outlook on it is on your akhirah and just really just worship. That's those 2 weeks are just that. And you block out every single thing, every other noise that exists. And the craziest thing is like you said, like there's no rationale for going to Hajj, right? But now that I went, I want to go again. Like if I had the opportunity to do it, I actually would still do. I would want to do it again. I don't know how to explain it. There is no logical rationalization of why, but like I want to go back. If I have the opportunity to do it, I would go back. Even for maybe like next year, I might want. I have a plan where I want to go back for at least Umrah. Go do Umrah again. It's something about that place. Just once you go once, because this was my first time, by the way. I've never done Umrah before or anything. I went straight to the deep end and just did Hajj. So um now I kind of next year at least I want to go back for Umrah and just do Umrah, just visit those places. But yeah, it's amazing.
Interesting. How how's your relationship with religion changed in the past few years?
A lot. Um like uh, 4 years ago me is not the same me I am now. Um 4 years ago me I wasn't very attached to religion. I wasn't attached to the masjid as I should have been. But I don't know. I think we just is right. Like I said, it's Allah guides who He wants. And one, I guess I think it probably started in Ramadan, where just because everyone during Ramadan, it's at least a little. They're more religious than other times of the months. It's like there you have this. You're fasting. Fasting naturally puts you in a state of worship or submission to Allah. So people are more religious in that month. I guess it started there in one like 3 Ramadans ago where okay, I don't know what happened. I just told myself this year I'm going to try to do more. And actually no, it started with I guess going to the masjid more often because I think I just had like actually that is where it started. I had a circle in the masjid. Before I didn't really go to the masjid often, but then I started going more often and like for example, no, it started Ramadan because we go in Ramadan in the masjid, they give you iftar every single like few days or like I forgot it was like Saturday, Thursdays and Mondays or Sundays, whatever. So going to those, that's where it started. I'm like, okay, yes, iftar at the masjid, they give you
I
good
get
food.
that
So
chicken
I went,
biryani, you
yeah,
know?
exactly. So you go for that. And then going there, I met people who are like my age and I just talked to them. And then they're like, oh, cool. And these people, they go to the masjid every single day. Like I like they're not. So I started talking to them and I get closer with them. And by proxy, I end up going to the masjid more and more often. And slowly I end up seeing this being a habit of then, okay, so it became my habit of going to the masjid every day, meeting these people and just talking to them at the masjid. It's like a social space. But by doing that, you naturally get closer to the religion as well, because you listen to the imam give like small tafsir sessions, hadiths, like he reads from the book of hadiths, just talking. You just learn, you absorb more and more of the religion the more you go to the masjid. So I'd say it started for me there, and from there on, it just grew and grew, and then I started really getting my life has been more attached to going to the masjid. Like I try, doesn't always happen, but I try to go pray every Fajr and every Isha prayer at the masjid. I try to do that every single day now, where every single day I go at least twice. So for Fajr and Isha, um, I try to read more Quran. It's just in general, it didn't all happen overnight, right? Well, overnight, it's not like all of a sudden I'm going to Hajj tomorrow. Like that mindset did not occur to me or come to me one after one day. It definitely was a building block of putting myself in the right environment.
Hmm. What does it do for you having a closer connection to faith?
It gives you a sense, well, a big part of it of our religion is tawakkul, right? So it gives you that assurance that no matter what adversity or whatever good happens to you, it all comes from Allah and you have trust in Him to guide your life in a way. Having that mindset is powerful. I think if if someone believes that something that goes wrong, even if something that goes wrong in their life, there's a benefit to it, how is it, how are you stopping that person, or how is that person going to, be defeated, right?
There you
Because
go.
if you feel something bad happens to you, but you think, oh, it's fine. Allah has this test for me. He's gonna give us something better in the future. So I just have to get through the test. Having that mindset and being able to like having that goal in life, like, the akhirah is your goal. So being able to re that mindset's so powerful. And it not only that's the main thing, but also alongside of it, a byproduct is the community you get to be around. You get to be around people, like the social circles. You're not alone. You have a lot of these other people who believe the same as you or who are on that same understanding and mindset as you. So it's definitely improved my outlook on life, and it's just like I'm not best way to put it, I'm not living for myself and just to make myself do better. I'm living to please Allah now, right? Like that's your goal changes. Your goal doesn't change. Your goal isn't to just make yourself better for yourself and your own like achievements in life. It's more than that now.
Yeah, I like that answer. And similarly, I think that is the best thing that I get out of faith too, is crafting a better version of yourself. I think
Mm-hmm.
having a connection to the faith is the easiest way to craft a better version of yourself
Mm-hmm.
because it comes with a natural discipline to it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be aware, you have to be mindful, God conscious, aware of when it's time to pray. What can I do? What can't I do? Things like
Set your
that.
morals. Yeah, set your
Yeah.
morals too, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah. It establishes that framework day to day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think that's like so that's just I think that's like any religion, right? Every single set of religion has that set of it brings a framework to your life or like a moral standpoint to your life. But I think just Islam does it in a way where you can't cop out, if that's the best way I can explain it. Like it's just the rules are strict. It tells you do this, don't do this. Right? There's the guidelines are the lines are more drawn. You know what you have to do. I guess that's kind of I think that's how it differentiates from a lot of other religions, I think.
It is what it is. Take it or leave it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point too. I like that part.
Hmm. Yeah.
We had a great conversation at that Persian
Hmm.
restaurant when we had dinner that one time.
Hmm.
I think the question I'm about to ask you is more relevant now. On paper, it seems like you've achieved a lot of things that most people strive and long to achieve. That
Hmm.
being said, do you feel fulfilled right now? Or do you feel like, man, there's still things on my mind that I have to get to? I don't feel fulfilled.
I will definitely say I am a lot more fulfilled. Yes, I would say I feel the spirituality part that I was already pretty good, but I was maybe like I don't know the outlook on life on how I view a lot of things. I can't Hajj changed it on a lot of the things in life that I look on how I output on how I looked at it. So I would say my mindset has changed, my viewpoints on the world has changed. Um, I definitely feel more fulfilled. Um, are there still things that I can work on? Yes, but I
Well, I
think
guess let me ask you this.
yeah.
What are you after now?
What am I after? Hmm, I would say I have a few, I guess, r really it's just like for example, you're not ever done with your journey from a religious aspect. You're not ever done with your journey there, right? You always grow in there. Like that's never ending from a religious
Yeah.
aspect. You can always
One
get
of my
closer.
favorite quotes from the
Yeah.
Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, learning is from the cradle to the grave. It never
hmm
ends.
Yeah. So from a religious aspect, you're never done, right? You're never fulfilled there. You should never feel fulfilled. 'Cause, like I feel like that's well fulfilled, yes, but you should never feel like you've done enough. You should always strive to do more in the from a religious aspect. Any aspect actually, but uh from like just a career wise, alhamdulillah, everything's going well. I do have more ambitions of, like being more being more settled, trying to, you know, grow and be more confident in being able to provide for my family, like increase my, I guess, go up the career ladder, but I also have aspirations to grow my own business in a way. So like I have those aspirations to actually start. So I have some ideas in the works. So uh, that's something in
By the way,
career
I'm
wise
not
I want to
asking you to
grow.
like spill out your guts of like your plans or vision or anything
Oh
like
yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah.
But I'm curious because like for example, I remember this is a smaller example. When I was a kid, I was really into this trading card game called Chaotic.
hmm
I think it was like right before you kind of we became friends. But I was
hmm
really into it, and I remember I ended up getting like the cards that I wanted for years. They were like ultra rare, really hard to get, and I
hmm
finally obtained them. You know, my dad bought them for me, and I was so happy. And I remember like after that point, I felt achieved as a little kid in that little realm right there of
Yeah.
chaotic.
hmm
And my interest it waned. You know, it's like I feel fulfilled here. The box has been checked off. So it's
hmm
like now I'm not so interested in chaotic anymore. I wasn't as invested in the cards, TV show, whatever. Now it's like, all right, well, what's next? And then, you
hmm
know, growing up, you kind of get into different things.
Yeah.
So similarly, like I guess in a more adult example, or speaking as adults, like, do you feel like with all the boxes you've checked off that now you're done with that and you're on to new horizons?
Yeah. I also think that's just part of human nature, right? Which even from your example, no, I don't think anyone is satisfied with like once they complete something, they always want something more. It's just human nature to do it. Like like someone can have a really good living and just live their life and like they live comfortably, but they're always even them, they're gonna want more. Like I feel like it's just human nature to always not stay static. It go up. Do do more to kind of whether it be career wise, whether it be just your life, just progression mentally, like your mindset, something. It's like no one is ever satisfied with, and I think what Islam does is it teaches you to be, Islam doesn't limit you in, having that feeling of being satisfied, but it teaches you to be modest as well. It teaches you don't go over the top, right? It puts guardrails. It lets you. Islam promotes you to grow and like grow yourself and continue. Like they want like Islam promotes like Muslim business leaders, like lead entrepreneurship. Like it promotes all these things, but it's just I guess be modest about it. Don't show off your wealth. And I feel like the fulfillment, it's you no one ever gets it. I feel like yes, you like you said you felt for the card game. You said you were fulfilled and playing the card, but then now you have like, okay, I need something else now, right? You're like, I'm done with this, and now what do I do? It's like that kind of always happens. And like for me, even my career wise, alhamdulillah, I'm in a good spot, but I'm never gonna stop wanting to grow my career more, right? Seeing as how far I can take it, that's never gonna end. Similarly, just as a just developing as a person, even like from a more natural standpoint, like physically, like I want to just make myself, more fitter. I want to go to the gym
You
more,
want to
just
resurrect your abs.
resurrect my abs. I don't know. I want to live a more. I think one thing is I want to live a more healthier lifestyle. Definitely, like not eat out as much. You know, control like what I eat more. Not like because gaining weight, but just because from eating healthier, maintaining a healthy lifestyle. That's kind of what I'm working more towards now, I guess. Um, my career, obviously, trying to get that. Or I'm working towards my master's, so getting that on the side, also getting that done. But yeah, it's just progressing. Like I said, after what's gonna come next, I don't know. Like like after my master's is done, after career, I'll just probably look for the next thing. Like it's just a
Yeah.
continuous mindset of improving myself until
It's
I can't,
interesting to me in so many ways because, like, we can even take the life of the Prophet, peace be upon him. Once he
Mhm.
achieved the conquest of Mecca, which was like his story just kind of ends there, or his
Mhm.
life ends there, But like as
Yeah,
we were speaking earlier, with like Ronaldo or Messi, like they're at the top of their game. When you're in a
yeah.
position like that where you have achieved so much, it's like, well, what's next? Or like even another example, Jack Nicholson, such an accomplished actor, but he actually retired and he
Mm.
doesn't do this anymore. And I wonder, like in his private life, what does he look forward to? You know, it's interesting to me. Anytime somebody checks off boxes in their lives, it's like, what are you looking forward to now? What
Yeah,
is there left to look forward to? I wonder.
yeah. That's kind of that's kind of a danger of people who don't have the spiritual purpose. Because there's some people in the world who's probably accomplished everything in life, but then they still feel that gap that they're like, what am I doing? What's my purpose? Like they've completed everything, they lose their purpose. But like I always bring it back to Islam, like you never lose your purpose, no matter what you're doing. No matter how well you're doing in life, how if you're struggling, it does not matter. Everyone has that same purpose of pleasing Allah and reaching Jannah, right? That is kind of the goal that every Muslim has. And it just doesn't matter where you're in life. You always have that's one goal that you'll never achieve in this life, at least, right? That's something you work towards achieving. No one with certainty can know in this life that are you going to go to Jannah or not. Like that uncertainty, that is one thing. No matter what else you fulfill in this life, you can't ever know that that's always going to be uncertain. So I feel like that helps in being able to keep you grounded and have something to work towards.
There's something you said earlier I'm curious about.
Hmm.
Don't be over the top. Is that
Yeah.
something easy for you?
Yeah, I don't try. I would like to think I don't live a very showy, lavish lifestyle. I don't show off my like whatever good Allah has
My
given me
fanciest
or
soccer balls, I don't show those off.
yeah, yeah. I try to like not be, over the top. Like if some like for example, I hate doing it. Like I hate talking about myself in like the gloating way. Like I
And
just
I don't
find
blame
it
you. That's
I
like a
cringe.
natural human thing,
I
right?
cringe about it. I'm just like, like I don't like. I'm just like, why am I like? For example, I would just give an example. There's this program in my workplace where it's called TCL. It's like technical service leaders. You pretty much have to. It's just write an essay and like a bragging about yourself and how good you are at your job. And I have and to like get to the actual like recognition. And when I writing that, I'm like, I hate doing this. Like I hate talking about myself like this. Like, oh yeah, no, I did this. Yeah, I'm the reason this happened. Like that whole gloating, like I'm not a fan of it. And also just in general, like if you share everything about your life, evil eye is a thing, right? That's also something that's on the back of my mind. Like I don't want to share everything about my life because it could impact me in negative
And
way.
the
So,
interesting thing is, though, I like how you brought it up. Um, there's something I wrote. It's a line which is existence is an advertisement. And I love what you're saying. Like it's tough to like talk about yourself.
Hmm.
It feels terrible to gloat and kind of, show off or whatever. At the same time, we live in a world where you have to market yourself
Hmm.
because no one else will do it for you. So how do you
Exactly.
balance those two things? And then you also brought in the concept of Nuzzer. Well, you also
Yeah.
want to avoid that. How do you juggle all those balls together?
I feel like you you moderate it. Like you do it where it's needed. Like, I think that's the best way. Like don't go over the top. For example, or do it to the right. Like it's like a example I can talk about. I'm trying to think. Um, Maybe for example, like the work one. I list my accomplishments, but I only keep it work. Like I'm not gonna talk about, oh yeah, outside of work, I have like a Lamborghini, so I should get this job. Like I'm not. I'm bringing in whatever it's needed of me. I do the minimum of what I need to show or what I need to gloat about. Similarly, I guess you could talk about whenever you're talking about or looking to
I
get
like that.
married to, yeah.
I like
But
that,
like,
Jared. That's good.
yeah, yeah. But then similar, you can talk about like whenever you're looking at potential or you're talking to potential like marriage candidates or someone you want to marry. There's a level of you have to talk about finances. You have to tell them about, okay, like what, like you bring in these conversations that you wouldn't talk to other people, like, income, like stuff like that. Like, that's a different case. But you know what I'm saying? Like, but you don't go out of your means and just brag on yourself. You say what's needed because they have the right to know, how much, like what do you have to offer? Like, what can you provide? Like, like stuff like that. Just so it really depends on the situation, but just don't
Yeah.
go over the means to, don't go over the top. Like everything, it all comes into in Islam, right? Everything comes with moderation. So do everything in moderation. That's the main thing.
And it's so interesting because it's such a fine line. Even when it's just what's necessary or what's needed that you have to talk about, even then
Hmm.
it can feel kind of showboaty or gloating.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, I know.
yeah,
I
you
so hate it.
gotta
Yeah.
you gotta reel it back in. Like, this is what's necessary.
Hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
No, for sure. But
I,
no.
I there was one other topic I wanted to touch with you about, because it had a profound effect on me. You were telling me about, rejection and
Hmm.
how it doesn't, whether a person validates or invalidates you, doesn't say anything about your worth. And the
Hmm.
way that you were talking to me about it specifically, I remember it had a pretty good effect.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like I said, you can't you at the end of the day put you can't rejection can happen, but at the end of the day, what's gonna if you get like for if you're talking about a relationship or if you're talking about a job or interview, anything you're doing, right? If getting rejected from a job, it doesn't demote your character anyway. Like you're not a it's a very unhealthy mindset to have to get rejected and feel like you lose self-worth when you really don't lose anything. You're the same person and it's just you move on. It's not the end of the world, right? Whether it's be a person you were talking to, work related, getting off at maybe trying even the simple ways. I guess for me, like when I was younger, played soccer. If I didn't make the team, I'm just like if for like a soccer team, like I didn't make the team, I was like, ah, like it sucks. You feel it, but then you're just moving on. It's not the end of the world. Like you don't be afraid of it. Like it's the though if you don't do it, then you'll never know if you get rejected or not, right? So it's just like a lot of people, if you have a fear of getting rejected or fear of rejection on these kind of situations, then you're missing on opportunities that could happen. Like you're maybe you meet a nice person, but you never because of rejection you don't, talk to them. Or similarly, you have this amazing job opportunity, but you look at the qualifications and you're like, oh no, I don't have this and this and experience. Oh, they're not gonna. I'm gonna get rejected. I'm not gonna even bother applying. Why not? Like, what harm does it do, right? Like, go ahead. Like, apply for that job. Apply, talk to that person, or go for tryouts for my soccer case. Like, go try. If you get rejected, okay. But what if you don't? Like, you don't know, right? So at the end of the day, it doesn't harm. There's no harm in it.
Yeah. And I've noticed in my life, especially in the past couple years, it quite literally builds thicker and thicker skin.
Hmm.
The more you do it, and the more you get like in anything, it builds
Yeah.
thicker and thicker skin. Fascinating.
Shit. Did my video go away? No, it's
Oh, you're
still
good.
there.
You're good. I still
Okay,
see you.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's been good talking to you, Jair.
Yeah, no,
Do
man, it
you,
was
do
good
you
talking.
you got any closing thoughts, man? Anything you felt like you wanted to say you didn't get a chance to, or something on your mind you wanted to express?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on here. I know it's been a long time coming,
We
and I
got this
finally,
episode before GTA 6.
yeah, we got this episode before. Yeah, you got the interview before GTA 6. So, but no, it was very nice talking to you, man. I'm looking forward to whatever. Like, do you have any? Well, actually, I do have a question. What's your plans with like what are you working towards in your life right now? Like I said, I'm also working on my career, right? So, what are you working to expand your like this? Is this like more of a side hobby, or is this like something that you want to grow? Like,
Dude,
what's your
the
aspirations?
podcast is quite literally a hobby. Quite
Okay,
literally. If I have any
okay,
hobbies, this is it, you know?
this is it. Okay,
Yeah, but I
nice.
think it's cool because like it's not a I don't half-ass it, you
Hmm.
know? Like I
Yeah.
I I try to take it seriously, but it's just a hobby, you know? So I'm grateful that you joined and that you were part of it. Your episode 199. So that's
199. Oh,
pretty cool.
nice.
And I
Yeah.
remember the first time I asked you, like I was actually playing GTA 5. So that's why it's so cool. We actually got this done
You
before
guys
GTA.
vote for
I think it
GTA
was like a
6?
couple
Yeah,
years ago, right? 2, 3 years
I
ago, and I
think so.
asked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they announce when GTA 6 is coming out?
Yeah, I think it's coming
It's like
later this year. Yeah. Or
nice.
did they
Okay.
change it to 2027 actually? No, no, I think it's this
Not
year.
sure.
It's later
Is
this
this
year.
year? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. I will be playing it.
Yeah.
But no, man, overall, thanks. It was a nice conversation. And I honestly think, yes, I've done it like with my like friends. I've kind of explained to them my Hajj experience, but here I was kind of really like I let it all out. Like, so it was a
Yeah.
nice output of me just talking about my Hajj experience. So if someone asks me how was your Hajj experience, I'm just gonna send them a link to this podcast that you sent. Like, yeah,
Oh,
go
cool,
watch
man.
that. Go
Yeah, I
watch that
appreciate
if you want
you
to hear
you
about it.
sharing
Yeah.
that, Haji Jair.
Cheers. But
Yeah.
yeah, man. But yeah, again, thank you for having me. So everyone go who's watching, root for Spain. They're the best team in the World Cup, so be rooting for them. They're gonna have our toughest game this Tuesday, upcoming Tuesday against France. So it's gonna be a tough
Dude, by,
game.
by the way, so going back to soccer,
Yeah.
um, the Desi countries, why are they not in the World Cup? I feel like you would know more about this.
Uh, they're just honestly, they just didn't qualify. Like it's just they're in the qualifiers. They were never good enough to qualify. I think they're part of like like Japan, like they're in the Asia groups. They're all like Bangladesh, Pakistan. Their teams just never win, and you have to win a tournament in the Asia Cup. Like you have to win the Asia Cup to get a chance to be in the World Cup. They just don't ever get close enough. Like
Yeah.
Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, these nations just don't ever they lose out to like Japan, Korea, because they're all
I mean, it
they're in
seems
the
like
same
other
pool.
than Iran, like the whole other side of that world just never comes in, which
Yeah,
is why I was asking you about the politics. Like,
yeah.
I
And that's
wonder.
just yeah. It's just mainly just there's so many better people. It's just I think our countries are not the infrastructure is not there to grow soccer talent, which is surprising, right? Because we have the one of the highest populations, right? Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, collectively, we have so much of the world population.
Yeah.
You would think like a star could be born, statistically speaking, like a star would come out of these countries in the sport. But
Yeah,
no, I
that's
think
what I was
yeah.
wondering.
I just think it's the infrastructure because they don't have the infrastructure to grow in the sport. And place like America, they do. They have this infrastructure to grow talent with facilities for it. That just doesn't exist. And but I know next World Cup, I think they're expanding the format and more, so the possibility of seeing teams like Bangladesh, Pakistan's even more
Hmm.
because it's they're going from 48 teams to 62 or 64 teams. I think I
Whoa.
forgot. So you'll see a lot more new teams. So that means more qualifying spots. So if they do well enough, we might see. one of the Desi countries in the World Cup, possibly.
Perhaps
Who
one
knows?
day. Perhaps one day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But no,
interesting
man.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice talking to you. I do have
Yeah,
to run now,
of
but
course. I don't want to keep you,
no,
but
no, no.
good having you
Thank
on,
you.
Jair. Until next
Yeah.
time, man. You take
Until
care.
next time. You too, man.
All
Yep.
right.
Bye.
Bye.